Terra 2 God. When we think of the strongest, especially in One Punch Man, only one person comes to mind, as Saitama has the ability to defeat any opponent in a single punch by breaking the limit that was placed on all beings. But now we get to see if this is really the truth. Does Saitama's strength truly have no end? The matchup of the century is finally here. The man who broke his limits versus the being who placed it on him. The creation versus the creator. Saitama versus God. In the One Punch Man fan manga titled Battle of Gods or Terra 2, we get the matchup we've all been waiting for. In this story, we are told that the One Punch Man universe exists in a galaxy and is one of many dimensions connected throughout the multiverse. These dimensions are linked together by black holes which are stated to be inaccessible to any biological life form. However, there are new beings that have arisen seemingly out of nowhere that can travel through these dimensions anytime they want. These beings are discovered to be higher dimensional life forms, with everyone in existence calling them gods. These beings begin traveling to multiple dimensions, destroying everything throughout multiple galaxies within the multiverse. One of these gods travels to a dimension and begins destroying everything, and one of the survivors travels to Saitama's Earth. She tells Saitama and the rest of the heroes that these god beings are targeting this dimension next, and now these beings can't just claim to be the strongest. They're gonna have to prove it. One of these god beings uses the black hole to travel throughout the multiverse and ends up in Saitama's universe, and Saitama promises that he will be the one to kill God. Using the dimensional stone, which allows biological life forms to travel throughout dimensions, imitating the gods themselves, they land on the battlefield and wait for God to show his face. Breaking through the clouds and landing on the ground, God is finally here. Garou and Genos immediately jump into the fight using all of their abilities against God, with Garou using every drop of his martial arts like the flowing water smashing rock fist, and Genos using his incineration cannon at max power, but it does absolutely nothing. And just before Genos is about to be hit with a head-on attack from God, he's pushed out of the way by Saitama, who takes the brute force of the attack. Saitama's body slams into the mountain, and now he knows what it feels like to be hit by a god, and realizes this is bad. He looks up and sees Genos and Garou defeated. This can't be happening. Saitama realizes that he forgot to save his game before switching off the console. Saitama gets pretty upset and spins back for his game progress by literally punching a god thousands of feet into the air, and Saitama jumps into the air to finish off the combo. Yeah, I'd be pretty upset about that too. I don't know about tanking hits from a literal god, but yeah. As Saitama hangs in the air, God opens up his face and charges up an energy blast to fire at Saitama. As God shoots the blast at point-blank range, Saitama clenches his fists. Serious punch. As both attacks connect, Saitama is able to cancel out the blast, sending a shockwave throughout the entire earth. But then God hits Saitama so deeply into the earth that he almost reaches the core. Pause. With Saitama's single punch leaving God's body mangled, he admits that Saitama is a powerful life form, and at the center of the earth, Saitama smiles, knowing that his dreams have come true at last. God explains that not even fourth dimensional beings can defeat him, and across the multiverse there are other gods of even higher dimensions with powers that cannot be comprehended. God seemingly referencing another being that's even more powerful, saying for him, you are all mere dust. These beings seem to be from the same race, with each one being from a higher dimension than the last, as they can describe their strength being above fifth dimensional beings. God begins to show his immense strength and the abilities that he possesses, as he goes on to explain that the destruction of third dimensional creatures is quite simple. Only one method is required to decompose all organic matter. This method is the disintegration into one-dimensional matter, as commanded by the gods themselves, their own twisted judgment. And with the wave of his hand, every single being on planet Earth begins to disintegrate away. With Saitama still within the earth, he takes a deep breath and jumps to the earth's surface. At this time, Garou is fighting against God, trying to use the dimensional stone to finally defeat him, but God absorbs the power of the stone itself and then asks, "Did you really think a mere space-time stone could defeat a god? As to this being space and time are nothing, and he has dominion over all of it." He goes on to explain that he's a higher dimensional being that controls all of space and time, with there being 5, 6, 7, or even higher dimensional spaces with even more space-time axes. Earth scientists believe that there are up to 11 dimensions within the universe. However, in the cosmic depths, the dark recess beyond human comprehension, exist beings of even higher dimension, capable of bending the universe and all its inhabitants, but they won't live long enough to see it. At the end of the battle, Garou and every living being in the entire galaxy has been erased by God. However, arising from the earth is this galaxy's last stand. Saitama has come back to fulfill his promise to kill God. Saitama launches himself into the air and gets right in God's face. With everyone else in the entire galaxy gone, he doesn't have to hold back. So now it's time to show God why he put limits on mortals in the first place, because this is what happens when mortals have none. Killer move. Serious series. Serious punch. Saitama punches God so hard that he makes the entire planet shake. Grabbing God's head and sliding his face across the entire continent, Saitama uses even more strength as he picks up God's entire body and chucks him across the entire solar system. God's body slams into a planet, and as God gets up from the rubble, he begins drawing in countless rare minerals from the atmosphere and puts an entire layer of armor around his body to defend himself from Saitama's punches. Using his knowledge of the entire universe, God locates Saitama, and God realizes that he's no ordinary being. Saitama picks up a dimensional stone, and as God goes to punch Saitama, he winds up his own punch. As their punches connect, the entire planet is destroyed. When we see the two next, we see that Saitama is completely fine, but God's body was completely eviscerated. When God's body regenerates, he sends Saitama to a fourth dimensional space-time array where time will revert continuously. With Saitama's body reverting back to how it was before he started training, Saitama realizes that the key to getting out of this is speed. Saitama begins to run, running faster and faster until he eventually surpasses the speed of light and breaks out of the fourth dimensional time array. Somehow gaining all of his strength back by just running, he uses consecutive normal punches and eviscerates God's body yet again. God knows that he's going to die. With death in the air, it's over. As Saitama's punch connects, every planet, star, galaxy, and even the entire universe gets wiped away, and this is the first time that a mortal has ever sent a god to hell. Terra 2 God would scale to complex multiversal with immeasurable speed. And shout out to Jake who dropped 50 to sponsor this video. In the end, this being known as God has strength that Saitama needed to get serious for the first time to defeat. But if this god was so hard to put down, just imagine what the strongest god is capable of. In the unofficial manga, Saitama destroys the entire box of the multiverse, but for some reason in the official version, they decided to take that out. Maybe the author knew that there exists a god that not even the One Punch Man can defeat. What's up guys, it's Divine. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. And if you want to sponsor a video just like this one, I have my Cash App linked in the description where you can sponsor your very own video. If you guys been wondering where I've been on vacation for about 2 weeks, but I'm back now, so content's gonna be coming out pretty quick. And thank you guys so much for 180K, that's actually crazy. We gotta get to 200. Come on now, subscribe. But anyway, you already know the drill. Tell me in the comments who's your favorite One Punch Man character and what character should I do next? And tell me in the comments, out of the countless characters that you know, who can defeat the creator of One Punch Man, Terra 2 God.